It's our monthly look at the wool market. Not sure I want to do this interview. No Grant Edwards today, but I've got Rob Cochrane, who's the South Island Wool Procurement Manager for PGG Wrightson. And Rob, it is not good. I was talking to a sheep farming mate of mine down in Southland this morning, just ahead of this interview, to get a bit of a bead on the market. He sold his ewe fleece in mid-January for $1.12 per kilogram. Just about give it away.
Afternoon, Jamie. Afternoon, listeners. Yes, the market is still difficult, very difficult. That sort of money, nobody's going to make a fortune out of that at all, and certainly for not farmers. But the one thing that's actually not bad about the whole marketplace is that it's remained stable. It hasn't fallen away any more than that. And depending on the quality of the wool that's being offered, will dictate the price. So there is some wool that's, I don't like saying a premium, and I know growers won't like me saying this, but at the end of the day, if the wool's not prepared correctly, then they won't get that premium, which could be, if it turns into a discount, it could be 20%. And so, at that sort of level, 20% is 20%. You're better to take the better price if you can prepare it properly. And I know we bang on about this, but it's an important part of the aspect. But wool is being traded, Jamie. That's the main thing.
Rob, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but are you polishing a turd here?
You've asked me that before, and often we've had to say that we are, and we probably are in a sense. But I think the market is the market, and what we can't do too much about that. There's a lot of things happening in the marketplace. As I say, there's wool's being traded, being sold. In January alone, through the auction system alone, there's been between 45 and 50,000 bales in New Zealand have come forward and been sold. Of that, there might be it's single-digit numbers of the numbers of bales that have been passed in. So at least it's being traded. The exporters are buying it. They've got markets at the other end. They're under a bit of stress, I guess, the exporters with getting wool on the water and shipped and that sort of thing, and there's a few costs looming that they haven't had before. But it's still moving on, and we have to be there when the market does change. So we've got to get it right.
Where's that light at the end of the tunnel? Because I think one of the issues facing the wool industry, Rob, if we're being totally honest and frank about this, is that and we're hearing it now, we're seeing it at some of the Ramsire sales. Farmers are going into the likes of Wiltshire, some of these self-shedding sheep. Could wool become a thing of the past? Strong crossbred wool I'm talking about.
Well, the crossbred wool at the moment, if you look at the British wool market, it's in the same situation as us, and they're certainly blaming an oversupply of carpet wools on New Zealand, which is fair enough because we produce the better carpet types in the world. In the future, look, I don't know. I'm in North Canterbury today, a place where there used to be a lot of Corriedale sheep, right? And now there's a lot of crossbreds and things are because they're changing, people are looking back towards some of those other breeds. Now, if they're moving to wool-less sheep, then you're putting all your eggs in one basket down the track. So I think that's probably a little bit of, reacting to the marketplace too much. So we've just got to be careful. And it's horses for courses, Jamie, on sheep farming. I've been in this industry for close to 50 years, somewhere along the line, in livestock and in wool for the last 40-odd in wool. And, it's horses for courses. Got to be careful.
What about premiums for instance, lamb's wool or second share wool, which will be coming up to that to second share season shortly?
Yes, the lamb's wool market's pretty flat. There's a few people who were fortunate to take contracts last year delivering wool at the moment that would be probably between $2 and $4 clean above current market. That means that lamb's wool is very, very cheap at the moment, and so I don't see that changing just in the next little while. Although we have seen a little bit of a sting in the market in Australia in the last few days, particularly for the fine wool sector, so that may have some rub off on lamb's wool, but don't hold your breath for that doubling or anything like that. Autumn shears that are coming forward, particularly in the North Island very soon, make sure they're prepared well. There are some good premiums for some of those over the market, but once again, we talk premiums. If we're talking 10 or 15% or up to 20%, that's about it. But make sure they're prepared well and they will be able to make their contracts.
Rob Cochrane, South Island Wool Procurement Manager for PGG Wrightson. Thanks for your frank honesty today on the show.
Thanks, Jamie, and thanks to your listeners. Cheers.